in this final term of the course Political Theory, I have to evaluate myself on what I've learned from the previous lessons, especially on the different kinds of regimes and the best form of governance that is proposed by the philosophers Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, and how will I apply it to myself to be able to critically analyze my purpose as a political science student. So to formally start, my objectives in this lesson is to answer these 3 queries. As a political science student, it is my duty and responsibility to partake in societal issues and to be more agitated in handling different situations in politics for me to develop my critical thinking and analyzing skills in order for me to judge politics fairly. So, to answer the question, what is my telos or my purpose or my end goal, I highlighted 6 key points to properly discuss it. First, I have to understand power and governance. So how to understand power and governance? So I had to explore how power is distributed, exercised, and justified in societies, and to analyze the structures and institutions that shape governance and public policy. Second, to promote justice and equity. So to critically evaluate and advocate for political systems and policies that promote justice, equity, and the common good. Third, cultivate civic responsibility by becoming an informed and active citizen who is capable of engaging thoughtfully in political debates and contribute to the progress of democratic processes. So fourth, to foster critical thinking, to develop analytical skills in assessing complex political phenomena, including ideologies, policies, and global trends, from a multidisciplinary perspective. Fifth, shape policy and leadership. So, for me to prepare for roles in public administration, policy making, diplomacy, or other fields where political insight can lead to effective leadership and societal progress. Lastly, engage with global challenges. Just like to address global issues like climate change, inequality, or conflicts through informed analysis and innovative political solutions. So by achieving these telos, I can promote a common good which is necessary to enlighten individuals and make a good impact to the society. As explained by Plato, Socrates, and Aristotle, monarchical government is the ideal one because according to them, a good leader should be a philosopher king who advocates wisdom and power which is necessary for the country to move towards justice. Then, to cultivate a qualified ruler, it needs to be well educated in different aspects like arithmetic, geometry, and many more in order for them to love wisdom. So due to this, the ruler can master the true knowledge in all-round ways, maintain rationality, and it distinguishes the truth and falsehood of the statement. Therefore, when a philosopher becomes a ruler, he can enlighten and serve the country in political life and social life. Then it will regarded as the philosopher king who is the role model, and the people will obey the king of philosophy. However, Philippines a few centuries ago experienced too much from the colonizers, especially the Spaniards that colonized us for 333 years. Those long years make a great impact to the life of every Filipinos as it leaves scars to our own identity, shredded blood, as the same Filipinos fought to each other, forced labors, as Spaniards were very superior to our fellow, and abusing of power, since they imposed law that may be beneficial to every Spaniards, neglecting the right of every Filipinos, and it resulted of their dark years and suffering. The reason why, as a political science student, I have to consider the history, the culture, and social context before concluding what for me is the best regime or the best government. So, and I would say that the best government is democracy, and it is way too different from the perspective of the philosophers, for the reason that democracy government, as explained by Plato, it is a rule by pure liberty and equality, where the people vote on and make laws, or in Aristotle terms, rule by many like a free citizen. In simplest term, it emphasizes principles such as equality, participation, and protection of individual rights. Moreover, it promotes freedom, and citizens typically have the right to vote, engage in political processes, and hold the leaders accountable through regular elections. And this is the reason why this kind of governance is more likely the ultimate goal of every Filipinos to be imposed, as they fought for this freedom to be able to have an independent state. And despite the result of this governance in our country nowadays, I still have faith that someday it will be realized and people itself will be the one to initiate reforms and make those corrupt and leaders accountable of their actions. For as time evolves, a young generation are more privileged than before, specifically in education, the usage of technology where information relies, and the faster growth of globalization where everyone will not be regarded as ignorant or uninformed citizen. And through this, people will be more knowledgeable and courageous enough to address the redress of grievances by the government. By then, citizen will be wise in choosing leaders through his abilities, skills, talent, character. That elected can be a good captain that lead his people towards an exact direction. Basically, the central theme of liberal political theory was individualism, which emphasizes on the importance of absolute value of human personality, the spiritual equality, and the autonomy of individual will that leads to individuals' freedom in all spheres of life. To connect this political theory in our government today, liberal political theory significantly influenced the development of democratic system, including our society, which is the Philippines. However, the actual implementation of liberal ideas in Philippine politics is affected or elaborated between the historical, the cultural, and socio-economic factors. Let's discuss the key liberal concepts and how it challenged and affected the Philippine politics. Liberal political theory had three key concepts. First, we have the individual rights, the limited government, and the popular sovereignty. So first, the individual rights. So in the Philippine Constitution, guarantees fundamental human rights, including freedom of speech, expression, assembly, and religion. However, these rights have been challenged by authoritarian regimes and human rights abuses, particularly during the martial law under Ferdinand Marcos. And recent years have seen a resurgence of human rights concerns with issues like extrajudicial killings, especially during or under the time of the presidency of Rodrigo Rua Duterte, and the suppression of dissent. Second, the limited government. So the Philippine government is structured on a system of checks and balances, with power divided among the legislative, executive, and judicial branches. However, the concentration of power in the presidency, particularly under strongman leaders, has often undermined this principle. Corruption and patronage politics continue to be significant challenges, hindering the effective functioning of government institutions. Lastly, the popular sovereignty. So the Philippines is a democratic republic, and its government derives its authority from the people. Regular elections are held to choose representatives, but electoral fraud, like vote buying and other irregularities, have often marred these processes. The rise of dynastic politics and the influence of powerful families have limited the choices of voters and weakened democratic accountability. So, to sum it up, the governance of democracy in the Philippines faces a lot of challenges, from the weak institutions, the political dynasties, corruption, human rights abuses, and many more. But despite these challenges, these are opportunities for progress. By having a vibrant civil society, a free press, and being an informed and active citizen can play a crucial role in holding the government accountable and promoting democratic reforms. Then, international pressure can help to address human rights concerns and strengthen democratic institutions. And by understanding the relationship between liberal political theory and Philippine politics, we can better appreciate the country's democratic journey and the challenges it faces in realizing its full potential.
Hope those insights can contribute a good impact, especially to those unprivileged ones, and use this learning as motivation and inspiration to promote a common good that may be beneficial to everyone. This is Janika Satalaita, a second-year political science student who believes in the statement of Jane Addams that liberty cannot be preserved without the general knowledge among the people who have a right and a desire to know.